I'm Teri, and this is Tea with Teri, where we talk about thoughts, emotions, and actions. And today, like many of the days that I record here, we're going to start with a thought that really, I hope, will lead you into considering a new action. And so today is December 21st, 2024. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the winter solstice today. And so I want to talk about the thoughts we have around this time, this season, as we move into the new year and as we have the darkest day of the year, and then we gradually start to see more light. And so it's fascinating. I've long thought about this idea of why we spend the new year thinking that we should just hit the ground running, all the resolutions, all the things, get started January 1st. And instead, we have an opportunity here to honor this time where it's the darkest of the year, and we are actually in a season which can be a very restorative, restful season. Now, I talked about the beauty of rest and deep rest back in May, and you can go back to that Tea with Teri, but this is slightly different because I want to talk about this idea that winter is meant to actually be this deeply nourishing time where we have an opportunity to rest. We have animals in nature who actually hibernate. And so at this time, our body is slowing down, our metabolism slows, we have less sunlight, so we have more sleep. Our ancestors really would have followed this time of rest. And, back in the day, even 2 or 3 generations ago, my grandparents and great grandparents, they would can and put things up all summer so that in the winter, when things were less plentiful and there wasn't as much daylight, they still had the resources and food that they needed. So we can go back to honoring this natural rhythm. And I think it's really powerful because we forget sometimes, and we're in this constant state of go, go, go. And even now when things are winding down at the end of the year, we often are the busiest. The children are out of school. We've got shopping, parties. We're hosting family. We're maybe traveling. And this is it's so against our natural human nature, the rhythm. And so when we have an opportunity to take a step back and think about that, we can make some changes. So, winter is actually asking us to lean into more rest because our spirit gets tired. And this rhythm of go, 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 the height of summer and then into fall and then gradually been resting. And we're going to come out of that. But let's see if we can honor our need of our body to do it naturally. And so winter's actually like the chrysalis stage of the butterfly. So this is the time when the caterpillar is wrapped up in the dark of her cocoon, just like we are here on winter solstice. And to the outside world, that inside that chrysalis, it doesn't look like much is happening. But if we give our chance for our spirit to do this form of rest, if we can go inward during this time, then actually what's happening is our brain is telling us this is a quiet transformation. And we are going to emerge from the other side as something different, something lovely. So this is the same transformation of your spirit. All of nature is doing this during this season, right? And so to the outside world, it may look like there's no movement. But if we are going inward, this is the time to really nourish our soul. And this is also the season for dreaming. This can be a place when we're resting, we can dream. I remember that, again, just going back a couple generations ago, farmers would get their seed catalogs in winter. And they would start to dream of the crops and the garden, what they were going to plant. And they would go through the catalogs in order. And my husband, who is an avid gardener and has had quite a large vegetable garden, and my oldest daughter and her husband, who were farmers, they did this instinctually too, right? They actually had this They would get out the seed catalogs and they would start to order the starter plants. And this is dreaming, right? And this is a time when we can actually spark that energy that's coming, that anticipation of the end of winter. And so winter is really the season when things are revealed by going inward. And so I just want to invite you to, at some point in this next week or so, embrace this idea of deep rest and turning inward and this quiet and darkness, and recognize that there's a little bit of magic here. And so let this be for you a season of receiving, this winter solstice season of receiving in the darkness, the anticipation and the beautiful magic of what is to come. So that's Tea for Teri, and I'll see you next week.